Could the conflict in the Sahel, already a region beset by instability, now be manipulated by distant powers seeking to exploit the situation for their own gains? This unsettling question emerges as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have taken a bold step by petitioning the President of the United Nations Security Council to denounce Ukraine's alleged involvement in international terrorism, particularly in Africa's Sahel region. This unexpected development uncovers a troubling reality: the potential influence of foreign powers, far removed from Africa's realities, in exacerbating conflicts that have already led to significant loss of life. This petition comes in response to alarming statements made by Ukrainian officials, which suggest that Kiev played a role in recent attacks by Tuareg separatist rebels in Mali. These attacks tragically claimed the lives of numerous Malian soldiers in the northeastern village of Tinzaouatten. The attacks, occurring between July 24th and 26th, have reignited long-standing conflicts in the region and added a new layer of complexity to the already volatile situation in the Sahel. In a joint letter, the foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger expressed their profound shock at the comments made by Andriy Yusov, a spokesman for Ukrainian military intelligence. Yusov reportedly admitted that Ukraine had provided the necessary information to the rebels, enabling them to carry out the attacks against Malian forces. This admission was further confirmed by Yuri Pivovarov, Ukraine's ambassador to Senegal, leaving little room for doubt. The implications of this revelation are deeply concerning. The letter from these Sahelian nations emphasizes that Ukraine's actions go beyond mere foreign interference, which is condemnable on its own. It accuses Ukraine of providing official support for terrorism in Africa, a grave charge that, if substantiated, could have far-reaching repercussions on the global stage. The letter further asserts that these actions constitute a clear violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the involved states, amounting to aggression and support for international terrorism, in direct violation of the United Nations Charter and relevant international conventions. But what does this mean for the people of the Sahel, who have already endured years of conflict and instability? The Sahel region, encompassing parts of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, has been a focal point of insurgency and terrorist activity for over a decade. The involvement of foreign actors, particularly in such a direct and destructive manner, threatens to worsen the situation, potentially leading to even more violence and suffering for the local populations. The three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, are all ruled by military juntas and have recently signed a defense pact under the Confederation of Sahel States. This alliance, formed in response to ongoing threats from insurgent groups, now faces the added challenge of external interference from powers like Ukraine. Mali and Niger's decision to sever diplomatic ties with Ukraine earlier this month underscores the seriousness with which they are taking these allegations and their resolve to protect their sovereignty. As the Tinzaouatten area remains a battleground between separatist forces and the Malian army, the recent attacks, allegedly facilitated by Ukrainian intelligence, have only intensified the conflict. The involvement of foreign powers, particularly in the context of Ukraine's own war, raises important questions about the motivations behind such actions and their potential consequences for the broader region. At this point, if you're finding this discussion insightful, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support is vital in helping us continue to bring you important stories and analyses that often go unnoticed. The letter submitted to the UN Security Council calls for appropriate measures against these subversive actions, which, according to the Sahelian nations, strengthen terrorist groups in Africa. This appeal reflects the desperation of countries that have been battling insurgency for years, with limited success. The idea that a foreign power, involved in its own conflict, might actively contribute to the instability in another part of the world is deeply troubling, highlighting the interconnected nature of global security issues. Moreover, this situation exposes the vulnerability of regions like the Sahel to manipulation by external powers. The complex web of alliances and conflicts that define international relations often results in smaller nations being caught in the middle. The Sahel, with its porous borders and ongoing insurgencies, is particularly susceptible to such interference, making it even more crucial for the international community to address these issues head-on. As Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger await a response from the UN Security Council, the world is watching closely. The outcome of this petition could significantly impact the future of the Sahel and international efforts to combat terrorism. If the allegations against Ukraine are proven true, it could spark a major diplomatic crisis and force a re-evaluation of how the global community addresses conflicts in Africa and beyond. In the meantime, the people of the Sahel continue to bear the brunt of this ongoing conflict. The involvement of foreign powers only complicates the already difficult path to peace and stability. It serves as a stark reminder that in today's interconnected world, conflicts rarely remain isolated within national borders. The actions of one nation, even one far away, can have profound and devastating effects on another, emphasizing the need for a more cooperative approach to global security. As we analyze this situation, it's essential to take a step back and consider the broader implications of Ukraine's involvement in Africa, specifically in the Sahel region. Given the complexity and delicacy of the ongoing conflict in the Sahel, Ukraine's alleged interference raises serious ethical and strategic concerns. The Sahel is a region that has been grappling with extreme challenges, ranging from poverty and underdevelopment to violent extremism and insurgency. For a distant nation like Ukraine to allegedly engage in actions that could potentially exacerbate these challenges is both irresponsible and dangerous. One must question the motives behind Ukraine's reported actions. Is this a desperate attempt by a nation embroiled in its own existential struggle to create strategic distractions or form alliances in other volatile regions? If so, this approach is not only short-sighted, but could also backfire dramatically. The Sahel is not a pawn on the global chessboard. It is a region with real people whose lives are deeply affected by every decision made by the powerful nations that seek to influence it. It is my strong belief that Ukraine, and indeed any foreign power, should refrain from meddling in Africa's affairs, especially in conflict zones like the Sahel. Africa has its own complexities, and external interference often does more harm than good. Historical examples abound where foreign involvement in African conflicts has led to prolonged wars, exacerbated violence, and deepened the suffering of the local populations. The Sahel region, with its unique socio-political landscape, requires solutions that are grounded in the realities of the region, not influenced by the geopolitical strategies of distant powers. The people of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger deserve the chance to resolve their conflicts without the added burden of foreign interference. The international community, particularly the United Nations, has a responsibility to ensure that external actors do not further destabilize the region. Ukraine, if it is indeed involved as alleged, must reassess its actions and consider the long-term consequences of its involvement in the Sahel. Africa, and the Sahel in particular, should not become a battleground for external powers to settle their scores or pursue their interests. The focus should be on supporting peace-building efforts, strengthening governance, and addressing the root causes of instability in the region. Foreign powers, including Ukraine, should be part of the solution, not part of the problem. They should contribute to international efforts aimed at stabilizing the region, rather than taking actions that could undermine these efforts. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our in-depth analyses and stories that matter. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We value your input and look forward to engaging with you on these critical issues. Stay informed, stay engaged, and together, let's continue to explore the stories that shape our world. The recent petition by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to the UN Security Council is a crucial development that warrants the world's attention. It raises serious questions about the role of foreign powers in African conflicts and underscores the need for a more thoughtful and responsible approach to international relations. Ukraine, if the allegations are true, must recognize the potential damage of its actions and withdraw from any involvement in the Sahel. The future of the region depends on the ability of its people to chart their own course, free from external manipulation. It is time for the international community to stand with the people of the Sahel in their quest for peace and stability, and to hold accountable those who seek to exploit their struggles for their own gain. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our in-depth analyses and stories that matter. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We value your input and look forward to engaging with you on these critical issues. Stay informed, stay engaged, and together, let's continue to explore the stories that shape our world.